It's 7 o'clock. We'll call the regular monthly meeting of March 13th, 2025, Danby Select Board to order. And would you please rise and join me in the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. And clerk, would you call the roll?
Roll call. We've got Haynes.
Here.
Kohler.
Here.
Abbott. Heaton.
Here.
Bender.
Here. This is the procedure for remote access and public comment at board meetings. The Danby Select Board and Planning Commission meetings are open to the public in person and remotely, but are not public meetings per se. Public attendees, both in person and remote participants who wish to comment on agenda items, will be given an opportunity at the beginning of each meeting to do so. As in the past, written communications may also be sent to the boards for consideration. Business is conducted and votes are cast only by board members. The chat feature is only to be used by remote participants to alert the host to technical difficulties, not for private conversations. To maintain order as well as the efficiency of the meeting, the rules for public participation are: remote attendees will be muted by the online host upon joining the meeting, remaining so unless recognized to speak. Participants should arrive on time and state their name for the record. Those who desire to speak in order to comment or question should use the hand-raising function and will be recognized in the order of which the hands were raised. Remote participants, when recognized, will unmute and clearly identify themselves by first and last name and the area of town in which they reside. Comments and questions are limited to 2 to 3 minutes. Anyone who desires to speak longer than that should arrange to be placed on the agenda beforehand. General ground rules are that speakers will not be interrupted. There will be no crosstalk between members of the audience. The speaker will be treated with respect and dignity and address the issue, not the personalities. Who do we have joining us remotely?
So remote, we have, sorry, I'm getting used to this. Sharon, we have Sharon White, Lauren Dever, Bill Richardson, Gary Deere, Chris Hardaway, Doug White, Janice Arnold, and we also have Michael Lees. And we have 2 people that I don't have an ID, 2 phones.
Thank you. Okay, next will be a motion to set the agenda. And I do have some updates to add to the agenda. We have an additional fleet permit that came in, and that is for Wind River Environmental. And there will be also a motion under the road commissioner's
Well, we're going to go into executive
report
session.
and an executive session to hire Robert Halligan as a full-time road crew worker. Under new business, we have received a letter from Maureen Staples asking for a pay increase for the listers, and I will read that letter right now. As you know, there are many duties for the lister of the town: current use, PVRs, grand list, grievance, and personal property. Also looking at the properties for changes at every location. along with answering many questions that the residents may have. As chair of the Board of Listers, I am asking for $22 an hour. With my 10 years of experience and being responsible for all the work that is done, the education that I have been to, I only think this is fair. I do most of the work and enjoy it. If anyone has an issue, they can call me. As for the other listers, I believe they should receive the same pay and/or base it on experience and education. As of now, the listers are the lowest paid people for the town, and the listers bring in most of the revenue. Thank you for your time and consideration, Maureen Staples. So that is what we have on the agenda. If someone would care to add anything else, now is the time to say so. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as amended.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimously. And now we will go to the public comment portion.
No one in the room? Okay, so we actually have one person who would like to make a comment online. We basically have, sorry, this is jumping all over, getting used to this. I'm good. We have Gary Deere on the phone. Let me unmute him.
He might have to unmute himself.
Yeah, it looks, okay, Gary, you there?
Yes, I am. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, I
Barely.
did unmute myself. Thank you for the opportunity to make a comment. And what I'd like to comment is on the agenda item related to the conflict of interest policy. I want to first qualify that I have some experience with this, having served for many years at the University of Vermont, and one of my responsibilities was managing the conflict of interest policy, the whistleblower policy, the code of ethics policy at the university. So I have some experience with this. And what I just want to observe is the document that Dennis Arnold very kindly shared late this afternoon, which is what the board is supposedly considering tonight, is actually not a conflict of interest policy. It is a code of ethics policy. It is also a policy that involves how to investigate and adjudicate cases of conflict of interest and ethics violations. My concern is that the way the agenda item appears on the it appears that it would replace the current conflict of interest policy, when that's not what was shared by Janice Arnold this afternoon. It's actually the case. And even in the title of the document that was shared, that's clear what that reference is, that it is not a conflict of interest policy.
Oh, so Gary, can you hear me okay? It's Tom Fuller.
Hi, Tom, thank you. Yep.
Gary, we took what was on the VLCT's website, and I checked South Burlington, and Essex, and they're all using that same form that we are. So did you have a form that was a generic one that municipalities are using that we're unaware of?
No, but I think what I think you need to also make sure you adopt is, or clearly state that you're taking the state's ethics and conflict of interest policy and adopting it as the town's. And that's a different document that exists out there as part of the Act 171.
So the Act 71 municipal ethics policy, let me go to it. You're saying that the Chapter 60 Municipal Code of Ethics isn't the document that the state was wanting us to adopt?
No, I think what you, if we're following the numbers correctly, what was circulated today is something you need to adopt, which is the Code of Ethics and Investigation Enforcement Ordinance. But the municipal code is something different that is part of the the state requirements.
Okay, I mean, we went through VLCT today, and then, like I said, I wasn't sure because it doesn't look to be nearly as good as our one that we had adopted that the legislature had nullified on us. So, yeah, I'm not sure where we can get one of.
So Gary, this is Greg Heaton. So I think my understanding was we have to post a copy of the new municipal code of ethics, and then we have to, they advise you to look at and review our existing policy that we have.
See, it was my understanding that was nullified. So if we can readopt what they nullified,
Sorry.
Okay, let's not get into that whole debate at this time, but we will certainly take Gary's comments into consideration, and we may even find that we wish to table this item.
And if I can make one final comment, Brett, it would be helpful if you do decide to table it. I'd be happy to work with Tom or other people to help craft the policy.
Okay, thank you. Do we have other public comment?
I do, yes, actually. Actually, Gary, your hand is up. You can put your hand down. No, we don't have anybody else.
Okay. Anyone in our live audience care to comment on anything? Okay, we'll close the public portion of the meeting.
Hold on 1 second. We have Lauren Denver. They have a question.
Okay, saved by the bell.
Can you hear me?
We can.
I just unmuted it.
Yeah.
Hello?
We have you.
So aggravating and embarrassing, Bill. Just help me. Just, I don't have it. Are you kidding me at this minute? Come on, just get me unmuted, please. I can't unmute it. I can't even get this thing to come up. Oh, it's so embarrassing.
Lauren, we can hear you.
Can't hear that now, they're not saying what you've got there.
Yeah, we hear you. Oh, and now it's there.
We can hear you.
I can't hear you, but it seems like you can hear me. I'm curious why we don't have video tonight. Perhaps you can write back the answer in chat, because all of a sudden I can't hear you.
No, she can't hear us.
That's gotta be on her end.
Yeah, I think I'll let her know here.
Yeah, and you can, if you click on that, you can change it.
All right.
Did she respond to what you wrote to her?
No, she did not.
Okay.
I sent her a message.
Okay, well, we're going to move forward and close the public comment section. And next, I will entertain a motion to adopt the minutes of the Select Board meetings of February 13th, 2025, and March 6th, 2025.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Haynes, is there
I'll
a second?
second that.
Seconded by Abbott. Any corrections or deletions? Hearing none, all those in favor of adopting the minutes of the 13th of February and the 6th of March, please say aye.
Aye.
Carries unanimously. Okay, so now we have some motions to make regarding various offices that are appointed. The first one is tree warden. Roger Bromley has been serving in that capacity.
I make the motion, we reappoint Roger Bromley.
Second it.
Motion is made and seconded. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none. All those in favor of Roger, please say aye.
Aye.
Fence viewers.
Request, can you just state who's motioning and seconding, because I can't.
Okay.
My hearing is
Okay.
already.
Yep.
So we have a motion for Roger Bromley as tree warden,
I got that,
made by Tom Fuller and seconded by Greg Heaton.
thank you.
And I heard no other nominations. So all those in favor of Roger, please say aye.
Aye.
Congratulations, Roger. Fence viewers. I believe you are a fence viewer.
That's correct.
This is an annual appointment, and I think the last time the fence viewers were called out was when Richard Edmonds was still a fence viewer, so it's got to be at least 10 years ago. I know you're overworked and underpaid,
And Ben Brumley was one also,
okay?
I believe, from last year.
So I will entertain a motion on fence viewers.
I'll make the motion that we reappoint Greg Heaton and Ben Bromley.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Technical difficulties.
Are we in discussion yet?
Are you going to discuss it?
Yeah, I just want to clarify that there's no conflict with fence view and select board.
From what I can read, I don't think so, but
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't give you that prestigious
It's not an
title.
incompatible office.
I'm sure we'll find out if it is by tomorrow. I'll happily step down, Tom, if
Okay,
necessary.
are we back on track?
Hold on, I am way behind.
Okay,
Apologies.
No, you
no problem.
volunteered.
All right, so we got fence views.
So I have a motion to appoint Ben Bromley and Greg Heaton as fence viewers.
She makes this look easy.
She's done it for a while.
So it's, what are the names again?
Ben Brumley.
What was it again?
Ben
Ben.
Brumley.
Ben Brown. I'll fix that after. And you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The motion was by Steve.
Motion was by Steve, seconded by Tom.
No, Ken.
Ken, sorry.
Ken Abbott.
No, Ken Abbott.
Sorry about that.
Doesn't matter.
Go ahead. Thank you.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, next we have 3 seats on the Planning Commission. These are 3-year terms, and we have 4 letters of interest. The first one is from Hilda Haynes, who says that her term is up on the Planning Commission. She would like to be considered for another term. She is a lifelong resident and a business owner in Danby. Hopefully, you will feel this qualifies me to continue as a member of the Planning Commission. The next letter is from Donald Keeler, and he says he would appreciate your consideration in appointing me to the Danby Planning Commission. As you know, I am a native. I have worked with the highway crew and on the select board for 9 years. I feel this would qualify to make decisions about our town. Sincerely, Donald Keeler. And I have a letter Dear Danby Selectmen, I would appreciate you to consider appointing me to the Planning Commission. As you know, I have lived in Danby for a number of years, and my whole family resides here. My ideals seem to be the same as the present board. Previously, I served on the Manchester Planning Board of Adjustment. I feel the town presents as a fine rural atmosphere, and I would be happy that it remains that way. However, I think that the board should work toward restoring some business activity in the downtown area. Thanking you for your consideration. Sincerely, Janice Arnold. And I have a letter that says, Members of the Danby Select Board, I am writing to express my interest in filling the vacant seat on the Danby Planning Commission. With a lifelong connection to Vermont and a strong professional background, I can offer valuable insight and expertise to help guide our town's future. For the past 35 years, I have worked as an electrical engineer, specializing in antenna and radio design at Raytheon Technologies. My background in program management and collaboration across the U.S. has equipped me with the skills to work efficiently with diverse teams, which I would be able to bring to the role on the commission. I think he means it, has given me a strong understanding of working within town government and balancing community needs with responsible governance. I am committed to ensuring that Danby remains a place where residents can live, work, and support each other. I would be honored to contribute my time, energy, and expertise to help Danby thrive. Thank you for your consideration. William Payne.
Now you want to do them one at a time, right? Is the way we're gonna.
Can do it that way, or somebody can make a motion to nominate 3 people.
I'll make a motion then if you are good with 3. Hilda and Donnie, who've done a great job, and Janice, who's always want to contribute. So Hilda Haynes, Donnie Keeler, and Janice Arnold.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion is made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously.
No, I'm abstaining from
Oh. Okay, sorry about that. Anyone abstaining?
Yes.
So we have 4 ayes and 1 abstention, which is Steve Haynes. Okay. Next, we have a motion to appoint a Rutland Regional Planning Commission rep. We are going to just appoint one person as a rep at this time, and then we're going to let the planning board have their meeting in April and come up with a recommendation of who on the planning board would like to be the alternate. And I have a letter here that says, I, Andrea Drea Stoddard, would like the opportunity to be appointed to the representative for the town of Danby on the Rutland Regional Planning Commission. For the past 2 years, I have been appointed as the alternate and feel comfortable now stepping into the representative role. RRPC is in the middle of working on a new regional plan, and I would like to continue my involvement with the process. I have also been part of the subcommittees of the RRPC. There has been a lot of time and energy invested, and I would like to be able to continue my efforts. I've also served on our local planning commission since 2021 and have been in the role of secretary. I feel having a role in the local and regional planning commissions allows me to convey information from the two organizations effectively. The shared skills and knowledge between the two allows me to serve our town to the best of my abilities. Sincerely, Andrea Stoddard.
And you said that's the only letter.
Yes.
I make a motion that we, I nominate Andrea Stoddard to the Rutland Regional Planning Commission.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, motion by Fuller, seconded by Heaton for Drea Stoddard to be our representative to the Rutland Regional Planning Commission. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions?
One.
Abbott abstains.
I abstain.
Okay, Transportation Council.
I make a motion that we nominate Quint Pierce.
I'll second that.
Motion is made by Fuller, seconded by Haynes.
Hold on 1 second, please. I apologize. I can't quite keep up yet.
That's okay. It's like learning to play the piano. You don't play the symphony with your first lesson.
So this is
Forever.
for the alternate, correct?
No, this
No,
is the
this is
Transportation
for,
Council.
we're not doing an
Okay,
alternate
there's no
tonight.
alternate.
We're gonna let the planning commission recommend to us. So now we've moved on to Transportation Council, which is, Rutland Transportation Council, Rutland Region Transportation Council. And there is a motion by Fuller, seconded by Haynes, to nominate Quint, Quint, Pierce, Pearce.
She's had a lot of practice. Motion by Fuller and seconded by
Haynes.
Thank you. And what are the names?
And it's for Quint, Quint,
Q-U-T.
Quint, Pierce, Pearce.
Got it. Thank you.
You just speak to Quint?
Texted it, that's good enough, isn't it?
Because Tower said he didn't want to do it. He doesn't want to be part of it anymore. I don't know about Charlie.
Well, Quint's up that way, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm good.
So, any other discussion on that? All those in favor of Quint, please say aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions or opposed? Okay, motion carries. And next, I will entertain a motion for a representative to the Rutland Solid Waste Commission.
Just let him catch up
Steve?
for a second.
Hmm?
Just let him catch up for a second. He's catching up.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
I make the motion, Steve Haynes.
He's gonna own it if I don't. So. Okay, so this is for
Solid Waste
solid
Commission.
waste.
Steve has been nominated by Fuller. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Heaton. Any discussion?
There's no conflict again, right?
Other than scheduling conflicts, no, there's no conflict.
All right,
Are we doing
good.
just Steve or are we doing the alternate again?
Oh, did we have an alternate?
I think he was.
I think the two of us did it last time.
Yeah, last time Kenny was first and I was second.
So will you amend your motion to include Kenny as
I'll amend
alternate?
it to make it Kenny and Steve.
See, now the way he's worded it, you're first.
Okay, any other discussion? Everybody who's in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Okay, that business is out of the way. Next is a real quick one. Transfer station relocation, set a time and date to meet with the Mount Tabor Select Board. So this would be the two select boards coming together. And Mount Tabor has proposed the date of March 25th at 5 p.m. And if that doesn't work, they'd be willing to meet on April 1st at 5 p.m. over at their office.
We gonna go to the site after or no?
Well, if it's at 5 p.m., it would still be light enough that we
I thought
could.
we talked about meeting on the site last time.
Hmm?
I thought we talked about meeting on the site.
Well, let's worry about the date and then I'll get back to them and
Yeah, I mean, we
confirm.
can,
Because we have to, notice it as a meeting.
and then we can go to there for,
I can do the 25th. Or
Yeah, that's fine with me, the 25th is fine.
I'm good with the 25th.
Send it.
Okay. I don't think we need a motion on that. It's just kind of a procedural thing. So I will get to them that 5 p.m. and site or office. Okay, now we have some fun stuff. We have a letter from Courier Memorial School that says our parent committee, fondly called Project Courier Excellence, is interested in helping to fund a structure to add to our current playground. Students for a couple years have been asking for a climbing structure, and we are hoping to fulfill this request soon. As many of you likely know, our playground is greatly appreciated by our school community and the community in general outside of the school operating hours. Thanks to your generosity several years ago, we were able to replace our old playground, and then a few years ago, you helped to update our present preschool playground as well. We feel a climbing structure for our K-5 playground would add so much more enjoyment for our community's children. Looking at the options that would pass muster with our insurance company, we will likely need around $10,000 for the entire project. Our parent committee is prepared to support us with $3,000, and we are reaching out to see if you will contribute the remaining amount that could be approved for use of the Silas Griffith funds or any other funds that you may deem appropriate. Thank you so much for your time and consideration. We appreciate all you have done for us. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. Respectfully, Carolyn Perillo. And we have two of the educators from Courier here tonight, Priscilla and Jennifer, or Mrs. Nichols and Mrs. Davenport, as the kids call you. And would you like to share some pictures with us that we know what we're investing in? Oh, wow.
And this is the,
That's
what?
the one, yeah.
The one.
Yeah. That's the one that meets all the code and insurance expectations and
what can go wrong with that?
Sign that says the girls may not wear dresses.
it's the one that we had previously was deemed unsafe, and this one is much safer and much more age appropriate.
How tall is it?
It's in the specs, let's see. And you know what, I'm gonna forward the specs right up here to you, because it has everything on it about the dimensions and,
I think it's like 6 foot tall. I didn't like my 7 foot
gonna think that one, huh?
Wouldn't imagine it would be any taller than 35 feet.
Does it also require,
Wood chips,
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
a certain depth?
yeah.
Yeah, 12 feet.
And we have that expense included in everything, because we have to reallocate wood chips on an annual basis for the rest of the playground. So there's no additional cost to put this in for wood chips. The only additional cost would be for the cement.
Now, how have you guys done on getting your $3,000?
We have it.
Oh, you guys have it.
PCE, which I'm a member of. We
And this is saying
we
that
fundraised for.
the total cost of the structure is $8,199.
Right.
Yes.
And then,
Concrete would be about $200 more.
So if
So you would still like the $10,000 from the Silas Trust?
7,000.
no, we got a new bid since that letter was written. The bid came in and it was less than the 10. We thought it originally was gonna be more of the wood chips and for the cement, but the costs have gone down. The quote's $8,100, and we're estimating the only other expense to be the cement.
Okay,
So we think it'll be about 8,500 instead of the 10,000 total.
but that includes...
That does not include what PCE will give us,
Okay, so you are asking for
the 5,500.
5,500.
5,500, yeah,
5,500.
because PCE is saying they have the 3.
Okay,
I'll make a motion that we give them 5,500 out of the Silas Griffith Fund.
I'll second it. And I have a question.
yes, motion is, did you catch that, Matt?
$5,500, Polar motion, Haynes seconded.
By Haynes.
Yep, he got that.
Good.
My mouth is big enough, he can hear me.
Catching right on. So now we have discussion and Steve had his hand up.
Is the Silas Griffith Fund the one we use for this, or would that be under the Isaac McDaniels?
No, that's the Silas Griffith Fund.
That one's not just for the Christmas tree?
No,
Okay.
that's a different.
Okay. Then I have no more questions.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have we heard anything more of what they're thinking with the school?
There's nothing definitive yet. We're definitely open this year and next year. After that point, we're unsure. I think it comes down to what the state decides. There's a meeting next week that will possibly discuss some more options that are being presented within our district. But I guess we're here on the basis of this playground being a community place for kids to play, and that whether the school's there or not, it's used all the time. And we'd like to continue to see that happen and be an opportunity for all the kids in the town.
Summers, vacations, a lot of times kids just use it.
Families come and picnic there too.
Yeah, whether
So-
school's in session or not.
Does your insurance cover it
The playground, yeah.
for the summer?
It covers it year round. It's a year round policy, yeah.
And the way the deal with Taconic Green works is the town of Danby has first option if they do decide to close the school of buying it for $1.
Right.
So it would become town property.
Okay.
Win-win for everyone.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Okay, so any other discussion on using $5,500 of the Silas Griffith Trust for Careers Playground Edition? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I have to tell you a funny story real quick. The first playground, you don't have to record it. The first playground, the creative playground that we put into take over from the swings that had been moved down from this building when Courier was built. I was part of that committee, and the first child to get injured on the playground was my daughter on the hand over hand thing, because she had played with some clay that she absconded with from the art teacher, and her hands were greasy, and there was all dew on the hand over hand, and she fell and broke her arm. Good luck, everybody.
Was human plinko.
Okay, our next order of business is to review the procedure for remote access and public comment at board meetings. Does anyone wish to make any changes to that?
Well, I'd like to make a suggestion that if someone wants to present to us on our agenda, that it would be in person rather than through the computer or through online.
I think it's reasonable. If you're asked to be on the agenda, I don't see that as being unreasonable unless there's some really unbelievable circumstance that would prevent it, but to me, that's reasonable.
I guess the only thing I would say is that we've gotta maybe at least have some system in place in case they,
Someone can't.
yeah, they can attend.
Right, which is what I mean. If it's something really, like if someone, a real reason, but I mean, to me, if you want to be on the agenda to be and present, and
Right.
I think it's reasonable to ask you to come down here if you're able.
Yeah, and it sounds like if somebody met with an unhappy circumstance, we could just put it off to the next meeting.
You know, what do you think that's?
So, where the statement says anyone who desires to speak longer than that should arrange to be placed on the agenda beforehand, should we add and be present at,
Yeah, in person.
be present at the meeting? Appear in person at the meeting.
And you can always add, if there's some undue hardship they're not aware of, they can state that case why they can't be here too, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
and I think that's the thing that we've got to leave open is when they ask, which would be either a phone call or a letter to the chair, that if there's some undue reason they can't, there's no reason they can't ask, but our policy is going to be for,
Here in person, and if you can't do that, either, you know, state your case, and I think that's reasonable. It's giving, that way you're not saying you can't if there's some reason. Something
yeah, I just don't want to be there. Are we opening a can of worms with that?
Maybe.
Well, you can try it. If it doesn't work, you can always amend it again. So is that how you'd like to do it? Arrange to be on the agenda beforehand and then add the words "and appear in person at the meeting"?
That would be my suggestion, yes.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to amend the procedure for remote access and public comment at board meetings to include the words "and appear in person at the meeting."
I'll make the motion.
I will second it with the, we didn't put in that we've got to have the mechanism for
Under hardship.
hardship type thing.
Okay, so the motion is made by Haynes, seconded by Fuller, and now we're gonna discuss it, and you're gonna say,
That I would think that we still have to leave it so that there is people that probably can't get in here, that we don't want to completely keep them from accessing it. I don't have the words for it.
You know, extenuating circumstances, undue hardship, you know,
so appear in person at the meeting or make other suitable arrangements.
I think you want to make sure they're contacting us to explain why they can't. So like you said, so
Yeah,
they just don't want to come down tonight. If unable to appear in person, please contact I don't know,
You reject. That's so we can.
Yeah, I don't want to rule everybody out that can't get here.
Whenever possible.
That's opening the door up
Okay, to public comment.
here in person. Or must have a,
Must have approval from the select board in order.
yeah, or must have it.
Appear in person.
If unable
Must
to
appear.
appear, if unable to appear, must contact select board prior to, or something like that, where,
Well, if person can't appear, in person. I'm bad at writing this one because we're leaving a lot of things open, and we're either not accomplishing this or we're over.
if extenuating circumstances prevent a personal appearance, please contact the board
Yeah.
prior to, and then we can, even if they have a reason why they can't, they just let us know, and then
Extenuating.
Appear in person at the meeting or contact the select board with a reasonable explanation why they can't.
None of them are,
Appear at the meeting whenever possible.
it's procedural statement, and appear in person.
appear in person, if there are extenuating circumstances preventing this, please contact the board.
Yeah. And we don't give that, we just, yeah,
Okay, and appear in person at the meeting.
yeah,
Please contact the board.
for extenuating circumstances.
That would prevent a personal appearance, and then it's, they have, if there's some valid reason, they can present that. But
Yep.
they,
No, I think that's good. We haven't got over.
Okay, so I'm going to restate the motion. So we are adding on to should arrange to be placed on the agenda beforehand, and what we're going to add is and appear in person at the meeting. Please contact the board if extenuating circumstances happen.
It's kind of generic, but it works. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, we can, you good with that, or?
I'm good with that.
Okay.
Okay?
my next question, not really to this, but so we talked at the organizational meeting about if there wasn't something under old business and new business, the public comment, are we including that into this discussion too?
Yes.
So,
But that'll be a separate
Right.
motion.
Right, so we'll get this done and then go on to that.
Yep.
Okay.
So, any other comment on this motion about adding those two sentences?
No.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, other discussion on the procedures?
No, just what we discussed, we had that brief discussion at the organizational meeting about if for some reason the agenda comes out and we don't put something under old or new business, that we have that mechanism so someone, and it gets brought up after public comment, someone has the opportunity to comment on that topic.
Right.
We had the example of the salt one time, you know, it's an oversight.
Well, we just had the example of the letter from the listers. So what I did is when we were setting the agenda, I gave all the information about that item that was to appear under new business. And I certainly don't think that within an hour's or an hour and a half's meeting time that something's gonna come flying through the door saying, I need immediate attention right now. I mean, if they don't have the letter in, I get it that, you know, I have to have the agenda published 48 hours before the meeting and things come in. But I think as long as we are practicing this of reading what comes in, it's out there, and if somebody wants to comment on it, they can do it at the beginning.
Right, but I think the discussion last time was more based around something that didn't make it onto here.
Right.
It came up to make sure people could comment on something that they couldn't comment on because it wasn't on here, yet it made it into discussion after public comment.
Well, that should not happen again.
But it,
If it does, you want
But
to
it
say that
has.
it triggers the fact that public comment will come up again.
well, it has happened. I mean,
Right.
That's all I'm saying, it's happened. If no one thinks that's okay, I mean, I just wanted to bring it up because we discussed it last time, I thought it was worth discussing
Yeah,
again.
and I took that into consideration when
I'm not
It's
blaming
agenda
you, I'm not saying
change
you,
happened.
there's nothing to do with you when we had the other.
Well, how about this? I will make the motion that we will put it into our policy that if something is overlooked and added onto new business, that will open the floor to discuss that topic
Only.
during new business at that time.
So you're not opening up to everything.
Not opening up to everybody, but if something arises that I look in my notebook and say, oh crap, I forgot, and it's something we need to act on this week, then we will open the floor to public comment for that topic only.
In that way, to me, we've given public that chance.
I'll second that.
So, we have a motion by Haynes, seconded by Fuller, that if something is overlooked and needs to be discussed under new business, the floor will be reopened for public comment
On that.
For that item.
for that item.
Yeah, we're not gonna rehash any of the
Right.
other items that they had.
Okay? Any discussion on that motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Any other revisions to the procedure? Okay, we will move on. And next we have the treasurer's report.
So I just would like to follow up with the item that I didn't have the opportunity to at last week's organizational meeting on account of it wasn't on the agenda, and when I asked you if I needed to be there, you told me no. I did make a mistake, I did miss something. This job has not been simple. There's been a lot going on. I have stepped into the seat when nobody else has had to. Most people get to come in March and they get 6 months to get used to day-to-day, pay the bills, do the payroll, learn all these things. My first task, my first week alone, was to set the tax rate. I did not have an assistant for a month. I have been doing nothing but chasing my tail and trying to catch up since. I apologize for the mistake. I understand that Doug spoke up and explained that things were fixable. I'm only human. Everyone makes mistakes. Everyone, it's not detrimental to anything. I understand the responsibility of my job and that I feel I was elected to do a job. If I do said job in good faith and with good intentions, and I do the best I can, that's what is expected from the townspeople who elected me. I did ask you last week, about 2 hours before the meeting, if I was needed. I wish you would have said then, well, I'd like to discuss this at the meeting. Only because how could I explain anything? And if Doug wasn't there to explain, how it wasn't as big of a deal, I'm a little frustrated about that. But I do just want to reiterate that I am trying very hard to catch up and keep up and do. And I'm perfectly capable of doing such a thing as long as I don't have these stressors, like feeling like, and honestly I felt like you went behind my back when I asked if I should be there, and you didn't say I should, but then you brought it up. That is so stressful and brings on such anxiety that it makes it even harder to do the job I'm supposed to do. This office is not an office. This is a rec room, a meeting space. Everyone is in and out. It's very noisy during the day. It's just difficult to concentrate and focus with all of the distractions, and then just feeling like my coworkers, if you will, are not being team members and supportive. So
I guess I'm confused. Was she on the agenda for the reorganization? No. Then I don't think there was anything that was dealt with that was official business.
It wasn't, but it was brought up that I made a mistake with the retirement account. And I wish I'd been there in order to speak to that in that moment.
Yeah, but it wasn't part of the meeting, I don't believe. So it's sort of like if we're talking about it at the store, it's not part of the meeting and you can't be there every time.
I just felt like if you wanted to, like, why didn't you say just come because I want to bring it up to the board? You know what I mean? Like,
I may not have known about it at that particular moment. There's been a lot going on, as you know.
That's why we met at 4.
And what you and I discussed is that if there is an issue, please let me know about it immediately so that when somebody
You found out when I found out.
comes to me, I can give them.
You found out when I found out. I mean, we found out together, and it just, I wish you would have said something. I was waiting, I expected the conversation to be had here, that's all. And that is what we met about at 4, and I just felt, it is hard, this job is hard enough to do, which that's not a
Well,
problem.
all I said is that we solved the problem. So, we did.
It just, I don't know.
If we hadn't, then
I just didn't like how it made me feel, I guess. That's all. I just felt like if you let me be accountable, I'd like to be accountable. I'd like to speak. I'd like to,
Well, if you want, I mean, we're in an official meeting now. I mean, if you want, we can discuss it.
If you would like to, yes. Because I missed it. I totally spaced. I've had so many different things going on at this desk. I'm doing the best, I can, and I just want to reiterate and let everybody know.
Okay, I mean, and so on your behalf, I mean, we can bring up the fact that the retirement wasn't paid for.
Yes, it got totally, it's not in, we don't get a bill, I don't get an email. It got absolutely skipped. That was 100% me.
Okay.
It was, and I apologize for that. And everything is corrected and in order now. And they're supposed to go retroactive. And I also offered, if there is anything that was missed or doesn't come back retroactively, I will pay out of my pocket because it was my mistake. It's not by any means, I wanted the opportunity to say that, I guess, is that I screwed up, it is corrected, and if there is any financial ramifications from it, I will cover that myself because that is literally my job. That's all. I just felt.
Yes. And I told you that I appreciated your candor and that I felt you were doing the right thing. We still have disgruntled employees who are not happy with the particular retirement setup.
Yes, well, they're having the whole setup, never mind
My suggestion is, and I know you have contacted the Mission Square people to meet with our contractual employees and discuss options. And I think the employees, if they don't like Mission Square, should have the right to recommend a company that they do like.
I agree with that. I'm not overly happy with them myself. Because I tried to call her. She was perfectly fine correcting the issue with me, but trying to set an appointment for her to come for them seems to be nearly impossible.
Right, and that's on Mission Square, so I don't like dealing with companies that
I
are not
really
accountable.
felt like I wanted the opportunity myself to put it out there that this happened, I corrected it. If there's a continued financial part, that's on me. I get that, I own that. I just didn't, I don't know.
So the only question that came up at the meeting, and I think Tom pretty much had answered it, but I'd run it by you, was that you had continued to pull the retirement.
It comes out automatically.
It
That's the problem. This is where, yes, that's where it was easy enough to, yeah.
But that will reflect on the employees' W-2s.
Correct.
So
but-
there's no discrepancy there and there will be no issues.
No, that's
Then
all there.
that was the only thing that really came up at that meeting.
No, that is all there, that's all still in order. It just, the problem is that's an automatic pull. And like I said, there's no bill, there's no email, it just got, and I apologize for that, and I own that. That was me. I'm slowly getting a better handle on things. I'm looking forward to the next couple months of no taxes, no budget, no, I'm looking forward to actually maybe learning the rest of the things I've been flying by the seat of my pants with.
So the employee's point of view was the deduction was made from their paycheck,
Yes,
but the deposit was not made
correct.
into their retirement account. So therefore, their income tax reflects something that they didn't really get, and that
Well,
money...
something that they paid into, which they did, it just didn't,
But the way the calendar year worked, it got cut off for your 24 income tax.
yes, because it came out of their paychecks.
Right.
It did in fact, like they did in
Correct.
fact pay. It's just, so they paid, so that part is correct. That part's all correct. What they would have gotten from Mission Square is also correct for what was actually paid. It's just, well, explain this better. It is all corrected and all okay, because I did double check through all those things. And yes, it's frustrating, and it was all me. It was all me missing something. I just wanted the opportunity to say that.
But we got it, and we're moving forward.
Otherwise, I have nothing else.
Thank you, Michelle. Okay, next we'll turn the floor over to Tom with the ethics policy and...
Well, I'm definitely not the ethics writer of the Act 171. We have a checklist, and I think probably what we should do is go through the checklist to make sure we all are on the same page, because Brad, this is this one here, which is going to give us to appoint an ethics liaison. We're going to start from one here, to appoint an ethics liaison to communicate with the State Ethics Commission. And you guys,
No, that's the code of ethics.
yeah, this is the municipal ethics.
Preparation checklist for municipalities,
Yes.
is that what you're looking at?
Yes.
No, I didn't get one.
Yeah, he doesn't have it.
So I would assume we all agree we appointed the ethics commissioner, or commission.
Yes.
I guess the only thing on that one is, I don't know if we shouldn't have an alternate. because it just seems though it makes sense that there should be an alternate as opposed to just one person.
I don't probably think the law says you have to appoint one. If we want to have an alternate as part of the board, I think we can do that, right? I don't know why we can't.
Yeah, I'm just going through the checklist and any little notes that I have on it, and I'm just bringing this up to you guys here, so we can, and we don't even have to visit that right now. I'm just saying that.
I'm all for getting it behind us. If you want to have an alternate, it's fine with me.
Okay.
I'd say now's the time to do it. No sense dragging it out.
We'll have to volunteer to be the alternate.
Not I, said the chairman. I'll do it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do we want to do that as a motion?
Yep.
I make the motion, Steve Haynes is the alternate as the state ethics liaison.
I'll second it.
And then number 2 on the checklist is post a copy of the...
Hang on. We gotta vote
we
on
didn't
that.
vote. Okay.
Okay. So you made a motion to make Steve the alternate. Did you second it? Seconded by Greg. Any discussion? Let me get this written down. Okay, any other discussion on that? Motion to have Steve as alternate ethics person. Say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Continue, Tom.
All right, so, and then the next thing that on our checklist is post a copy of the municipal code of ethics and any municipal specific ethics policies on the municipality's website. So this is where we're at with I think everybody has this one, the 2024 Ethics and Conflict Interest Municipal Code of Ethics, Act 171. Now, as far as I can see,
That's the actual code right there. Same thing. So you have to post that.
yeah, that this needs to be posted on our website.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming,
This is what you want posted on the website?
this is,
This is the
we're
law.
doing this as a board, so,
But this is what you're suggesting, that we post the actual
yes.
section 22 of Title 24.
Yes.
Yes. With the complaint form that's attached to the back of it on our website.
The whole 5 pages plus...
Plus the 2 pages, is it, or 3 pages?
Well, there's the municipal complaint form and this disclosure of conflict of interest, which is
yeah.
part of the complaint form, I would say.
And the only thing we do need to do is actually put our town in the areas where it says. I believe that would get us through 2 and 3. The municipality code of ethics posting on the website and the ethics complaint investigation ordinance rule. Oh, actually, yeah, that's the complaint form. And then Brad was able to get VLCT to get us a code of ethics investigation and enforcement ordinance. I don't know, did you make copies of this? Does everybody?
I believe everybody has
Everybody
a copy
has
of
this
that.
copy?
This one right here. That one.
So I believe this one here will qualify as post the municipality's ethics complaint investigation ordinance rule policy and procedure. So that would be I'm gonna say it says on the top, insert name of municipality code of ethics, investigate and enforcement ordinance. Now,
So my question is that in addition to this?
well,
No, that's what we need to revoke.
see, my understanding is, and, you know, I love the way they make it,
Well, that's right. I
is that
This
that
was-
was nullified when the legislature passed Act 171.
But if I understood Gary Durr correctly, he's saying keep this and add this.
Which really, it doesn't matter.
I certainly believe this says things that,
So why would they have nullified it and then we gotta re-adopt it? It's the stupidest thing is,
This is if you don't have one, if you don't have a complaint investigation ordinance rule policy procedure in place, you must adopt one.
yeah, and that is this one.
Right.
The,
If you may want to survey your existing complaint policy.
which we didn't have one.
Right. This is a totally separate, but
So if we adopt this section 22 along with this, will that cover us?
Well, I would think that this would be our policy that we have to adopt. This is posted on the website, but I'm not sure, this is state, I guess we should adopt this as well. Which, I don't know, I guess we really don't have to adopt a law. I mean, it's the rule of the land.
yeah.
So it just needs to be posted with our, so the only thing that I guess we really, I guess the only thing we really need to adopt is the Code of Ethics Investigation and Enforcement Ordinance for the moment.
Right.
So I make the motion, and do we want to read through this? And actually, as an ordinance, do we have to do a 30-day and a second reading?
So Greg is raising his hand, just so you guys know. Yeah, I'm sorry, Gary Deere. Commented earlier.
Do you think relevance?
I would say if you want to open the
Yeah,
floor for the conversation. All those in favor of opening the floor, say aye. Aye.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Gary.
Okay, go ahead, Gary.
Okay, I'm unmuted. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Okay, so I think what was confusing was the agenda implied that what the document was that we got this afternoon was replacing the conflict of interest when it's not. Actually, their case, because there's different procedures and policies. What I think you've come close to adopting or putting on the website is the Municipal Code of Ethics, which replaces the local conflict of interest policy with what's now a statewide municipal ethics policy. And it appears, and Tom, you may have gotten some of your meetings, and I've not done a lot of research on this, that the towns no longer have the ability to adopt local ones unless there's specific situations that need to arise, but they have to adopt a statewide municipal conflict of interest policy.
Yeah, and which is the one, Gary, that I believe we have here. And then we have the generic Code of Ethics Investigation and Enforcement Ordinance.
You circulated what's called Municipal Code of Ethics, and I think you're correct. I think if what you're using is the Code of Ethics and Investigation and Enforcement document, that's something different.
Yes, but that still has to be adopted.
I agree, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Gary.
Complaint form, and then there's the disclosure form that they've created as well too, and there's a good flow chart that they've created as well too, which gives you, a series of questions to ask if you, any, not just select board members, but this covers listers, auditors, cemetery commissioners, everybody in town now.
All right, thank you.
Certainly.
Okay, so you're making a motion, I believe, to adopt this Code of Ethics Investigation and Enforcement Ordinance.
Yes. But as an ordinance, are we required to do
Oh, yeah.
2 readings of it?
Well, the state says you have to do it.
Yeah, but I think we're probably a lot farther along than some municipalities.
Well, it's times like this when you wish you had the board attorney present.
Well, I think to be safe, we should go with the 2 readings and
Well, or we could table it until next month when we've had a chance to get the input.
I mean, I'm good with that.
Table it.
We can table it. I mean, I guess I want to still go through the rest of our checklist.
Yeah, and then there might be other points that we need to get counsel on.
Okay. So right now we have the state's ethics and conflict policy and the code of ethics investigation and enforcement ordinance. We're tabling the 2 of them,
Okay.
these 2 items.
What's that called? Code of Ethics Act.
Yeah.
He's whistleblower.
Okay, is there a motion to table those 2 items?
I'll make the motion to table it.
Thank you, Steve. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, seconded by Fuller. There's no discussion on a motion to table. All those in favor of tabling, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes unanimously. Okay, so that's gonna go to April.
And you got these 2, or do you want these 2 that I got tabled written on?
No, I got it.
Okay. All right, and then the last thing on here, or I guess the 5th thing on here is it's encourage all municipality officers to take the Ethics Commission free online training. The training is required for members of the legislative bodies, the chief administrative officers, mayors, town and city managers. However, the Ethics Commission recommends that all municipality officers subject to statewide municipal code of ethics take the training. And then lastly, make sure the municipality officers know they can call, email the Ethics Commission for confidential ethic advice.
So you have taken the training already?
I took the training. Like they said, it's 45 minutes.
And
it
it's-
might be a test of 10 questions.
And it's something that does not need to be done as a group, so
No, it's
individual.
Yeah.
But we have to do it
Yes.
prior to September, I think it's
Right.
September 30th.
But not as a group necessarily.
You might only have 5 weeks.
I think it's when you get elected, you have until September. You might be right, 120 days or something.
Yeah.
Might be. I'll get it done before then.
Yeah, I'm sure you can handle that. Yeah, that's all I got on that for now, since we tabled the rest.
And do they send you a certificate then or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's where we're at. I guess we can go on to fleet. Report ethics, motion to revoke old and adopt new
Well,
code.
I don't think we're gonna
Yeah.
revoke that now based on,
I think it's revoked. I think we're gonna get some guidance on it. I think the town, it was my understanding, and I'll just, maybe Jim Barlow can add some, is with the adoption of Act 171, all municipalities' local plans were nullified. So I think if Jim could give us the clarity on that would be great.
Okay, we got that. Anything else on ethics?
No, if you wanna skip the next
Okay,
one
I think
and then,
we'll skip the next one.
and then we can go on to either fleet permits and then road commissioner report.
Yeah, road commissioners report.
All right, where we're at in the season, we're really not bad, but we're like right at 100% usage of our salt budget. We're right at 100% usage of our sand budget. And our maintenance budget is running over. We're gonna have to figure out where we're gonna rob the money from on which part of the stuff, because we did have some heavier truck bills, and I think our biggest bill was our biggest one, we put $23,000 in, that's not in one bill, but into our truck number 2. And that's pretty much I mean, we can absorb usually about $10,000 there, but we're running high on breakdowns. So Steve did promise me that we'll have no more breakdowns the rest of the season.
What was it, Tom? Like, what were the issues?
Well, let's see, truck 2's got 10 new tires on it this year.
And that's part of our maintenance number.
Right.
Chain and
It had an
sand
oil
and
pan put in it because the oil pan was leaking. Had a new starter put in it because the starter was not working anymore. Oh.
sander was on that too, right?
The sander, we had to rebuild the chain on that. I had to get new drive motor. It's just
stuff.
New brakes on both that and truck 3 this year. Just a lot of maintenance on a 11-year-old truck.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, when they start getting that old,
Yeah.
we almost have to expect at least 10,000 a year per truck. And some of the repairs on it is going to be stupid things that we can't do because it needs a computer.
Yeah.
Because I think truck 3 went down last month. It kept shutting down on Bob, and that was a bad sensor, but
Right.
all the computer would tell us is it was overheating.
Where are we stealing from?
Well, I mean, we're gonna have to take it out of some of our, we're not gonna die over it, but I'm just saying where we're at with some of our numbers. And back again, we're already thinking about our summer season. We're gonna do the culverts, which I've probably stated before, and it was 4 or 5 along that,
There's 4 I absolutely have to do.
which is
5
Danby
I'd like to
Timoth
do.
Road. So we're gonna be closing that for those when we do it. Obviously, we're a ways away from that, just so everyone will expect that.
And there should be probably 2 weeks ahead of any closures where we'll be running the traffic lights for a while, cleaning ditches and
And Steve did have the suggestion to pave Fisk Road to help people divert by. But that's probably where we're at with everything. Yeah, that's all I got. If we want to go on to your fleet permits.
Okay.
So we'll entertain a motion to approve fleet permits for RK Miles, Markowski Excavating, Procter Gas, Belden Construction, and Wind River Environmental.
I'll make the motion we approval.
Okay? Motion is
Is it conflict of interest at RK?
I'll second it.
made by Fisk and seconded.
Those are,
Haynes.
they're
Oh,
generic.
Seconded by Fuller.
You gotta change your email address. I always think of Fisk Farm. So, by Haynes and Fuller. And is there any discussion on it? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the fleet permits, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. And then you have another motion,
I'll make the motion we go into executive session.
okay, for personnel matters. All those in favor of going into executive session for personnel matters, say aye.
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 I have to think of